Okay, everyone, climate change is absolutely not a joke. Bristol, Virginia flooded this past week because of heavy rain down there. Thankfully, no one died, but a lot of homes did get destroyed. Not only are we seeing flooding due to climate change, but we're seeing the most deadly weather event in this country. Extreme heat. Extreme heat is no joke, especially if you don't have air conditioning, and especially if you are young and old, and especially pets. So during extreme heat, you need to hydrate, drink plenty of fluids, no caffeine or alcohol, because those things dehydrate you. And during extreme heat, make sure that you check on your vulnerable neighbors and make sure that their air conditioner is working properly. And if the power goes out, make sure you have a plan in place because you don't want to be without power and have no plan in place. People literally die in their homes when the power is out during extreme heat because they don't have a plan in place. No power means no air conditioning. During that straight line windstorm we had 10 years ago, there was no power during a heat wave, which meant no air conditioning. And thankfully, we had a plan in place to go somewhere with power to get air conditioning. And thankfully, we have a swimming pool in our backyard. That is what is really going to save us if the power goes out when it's 100 degrees outside. Is the swimming pool in our backyard. As long as it's clean, especially with humidity. This heat is not a joke. With the humidity, your sweat cannot evaporate, and that could be real dangerous. You can't take this lightly. Climate change is responsible for a lot of extreme weather like heat waves, floods, hurricanes, tornadoes, droughts, even extreme cold during the winter, and heavy snowstorms. we are seeing a lot of ice melting in the Arctic. We are seeing the ice melt in the Arctic Ocean and the permafrost melt in the Arctic as well. And that region is warming up twice as fast as the rest of the planet, which means the difference between the poles and the equator is less and less.
Can I talk? Are you done?
No.
We're gonna leave around 12:30. Okay?
Yeah.
Go back to your video. Sorry, Alex.
Since the temperature difference between the poles and the equator is less and less, that means we don't have a strong jet stream anymore. It is getting weaker and weaker. And sometimes there is no jet stream. It is a mess. And we are getting stalled front syndrome. Which means the weather is stuck and won't move along. This is what Pine Power LI was talking about with the jet streams and how we are destroying this planet because we are burning fossil fuels. The oceans are really hot. And pretty soon, all of the ice in the Arctic is going to be gone, which releases methane, a more potent greenhouse gas than carbon dioxide, which will cause runaway climate change, and then this planet is hosed. We really need to wake up and see what's going on. The heat wave in the Pacific Northwest and in Canada was more likely due to this climate change. If it weren't for human caused climate change, it would not have happened. And the Texas deep freeze with the power crisis down there. That was a result of climate change. Since the Arctic is warming up faster than the rest of the planet, the polar vortex is getting weaker and weaker, especially during the wintertime, which means we are going to be hosed in the mid latitudes, like here in the United States, because we are going to see extreme cold that is supposed to be in the Arctic, which means really bad winters are ahead of us. Because what we are doing to the Arctic Even though it's minus 30 or something outside, there is still global warming. People say, oh, it's minus 30 outside, there is no global warming. You need to look at the bigger picture. Weather is just what is happening right now. Climate is a long term trend of weather. Even though it's cold where you are, it is warm in the rest of the planet. If it's wintertime here, it is summertime in Australia. And in some cases during these Arctic outbreaks, it is warmer in the Arctic where the cold air used to be than it is in the Midwest and Northeast of the United States. Wake up, people. We need to get these big SUVs off the road. Because they are extremely wasteful. We need to ban all fossil fuel vehicles and put in charging stations everywhere and plug in your car. We need to go to hybrid and all electric vehicles in the future. We need to get solar, wind, and nuclear power instead of these fossil fuel plants. Also, we need to mimic a volcano that puts reflective particles in the atmosphere to reflect the sunlight to reduce the solar radiation to cool this planet down so we don't have runaway climate change. We need to cool the oceans down so we don't have strong hurricanes. The wildfires in California are really bad, and they have been really bad all of these years. We are about to see a major extinction on this planet. And this needs to be talked about in schools because this is a very serious threat. This will impact our kids' future. Quit cutting down trees. We need to preserve our forest. We are in a climate catastrophe. So wake up and do something about it. Global warming and climate change, we don't even call it global warming anymore. We are calling it climate change. This is very serious, and you need to wake up and see what's going on. And all of those people affiliated with Wall Street, need to step down because they are doing serious damage to this planet. Meteorologists need to be talking about this because this is a very serious threat. And the southern pine beetles up in New York have really gotten out of hand. We should not have southern pine beetles up north. The reason why we have them up there is because the winters are warmer and warmer up there. Wake up. Bye.